Good afternoon. It's a very interesting process working through the steps that are needed for going live streaming and remembering to mute where you needed to and sharing where it's needed to go, which I'm still not sure if I've done that successfully, but I'll find out later. I'm Ros Boundy and I'm here on behalf of Boomer Press for another half-hour session using the cards that I've been showing you. Hold on a second, I'll take you over to them in the live stream shared window. These are the ones that I've got here. That's the ones I'm referring to. Not my usual psychic medium stuff, but this is the cards that we've been using to help us start writing and to also keep writing once we've got there. We haven't quite got far enough through the process yet of all the cards, but we're going to get there eventually. I thought this afternoon I'd use these again. And here we go. So the usual process I've been using. Trying to line it up in the screen is interesting. So here's the cards. In the end, we'll all become stories. So that's what we end up having as our theme for it. Oh, did it keep that on there? Yes, it did. Okay, I'm just going to try and put it where it's easier. Now, we've seen previously that what I've done is that's the number of cards we've gone through. This is the number that are left. So I'm just going to put these here at the bottom, and I just bumped it, of course, naturally. So that's the ones that we've used already and gone through. So what I'm doing is taking the first one of each of these categories. There is the early life. And then we're going to set that aside. We've got that one. We've got this one for our midlife. And then we are going to use that one there as our later life. So that's how we're going to be looking at them for today. And I haven't got my Apple Pencil here with me, so I'm going to get my letter opener that I use for for my mornings when I haven't got the Apple Pencil. It points just as well, doesn't it? Just doesn't have any electronic benefits to it. This is completely manual. I have to use it physically, which is fair enough. Anyway, what we're going to do, once I've put my little links, I'm going to type in my links while I'm thinking of it. The Boomer Press website is there, and then I have, which I'm going to put in straight away, is a direct link that takes you to the free consultation. Now, I'm not quite sure if this copies into the comments specifically with the hyperlink or not, but we're going to give it a try. So I've just copy pasted that. Whether it brings up the consult, I'm just going to show you the link for that one first. So there you go, it's the Soul Tree widget booking spot, and then we have the boomerpress.online website. So that gets those things out of the way so I don't forget them. And just in case, I'm going to just put just copying this and put this one in as a separate thing as well, just in case that link doesn't work very well above with the book a free consultation text. I don't know. It's all worth a try, isn't it? Pressing buttons and sharing. That's what Facebook's about, isn't it? Or isn't it supposed to be? Okay, so that's that one there. It's me posting, and it should be just that link there. So that's the one that I'm thinking is probably the better one to press instead of the one that's got the full book of free, etc. Anyway, got to try these things, don't we? Right, what we're going to share is these questions. Now, we've been doing this so that what I can do is put them in my Scrivener. And I haven't actually got that open right at the moment. So what I'll do is see if that will click into opening very quickly so that I can show you the Scrivener again. And it should actually give me a open to the recent project that I've called Prose, Practicing the Prose. And we're just going to have a quick look at that, because what we're on now is the episode 32. It should be today's date, because that's how I've calculated that they are. So the 23rd of January 25, and I've just got to change this one here, and it is Thursday 3rd January, and here we go. So these questions here will then go into this, as you can see it in a moment. I'm hoping it works. Here we go. So what we've got is, what I'll place here is, the first question is, did you study further than a degree level? Now that's an interesting question. So we'll put that one there, and we'll come back here, because that's the one that we're looking at. This that is the first one here. Did you study? Sorry, I've got the screen in front of it. That's really faint, isn't it, with the window light? Did you study further than degree level? What's your story around that? Pop that in the comments when you'd like to, if you'd like to, and we can share what level we've come to. I didn't do anything that was a tertiary level other than some TAFE. So it's essay TAFE or TAFE essay, I can't remember. I think it's TAFE, which is Technical and Further Education South Australia. I did what courses I needed to once we were in business. That was the easiest and most flexible way that I could actually do the studies, because this isn't really for that really early life, though in some sense it was. We'd started business in 1978. So I suppose in that respect, teenage years, I was 19. So what I did was a course in Excel spreadsheets, because it's no, that wasn't what it was. It was introduction to bookkeeping. It wasn't anything at all to do with computer stuff, because they weren't around then, available at all. Well, only to those that were in the know, I suppose. Desktop computing, I only ended up having one when I was 1982, I think it was, or 83. It could have been 1983 that I had a desktop computer, and it was a Micro B, and it wasn't the level that I could do online. There wasn't the thing that was online. It was, you typed your own programs in, and there wasn't the connectivity to internet or anything online back then. You purchased the floppy disks that had the programs already on them, or you typed in your own via the direct, either it was the DOS, direct operating system, or the CPM part. Some of you will know what I'm talking about, some of you won't. But part of what I needed to do to learn more about business was bookkeeping. So I did initially an introductory bookkeeping course, and then I went on to do the diploma of bookkeeping. So, and Cert 4 level through TAFE. But that was as an adult, not really while I was in my younger years. So that's how I would answer that question. Then the next one that we would put in is, I'll share the screen again and we can have a look. It is, when and how did you meet your partner's family? When and how did you meet your partner's family? And that again is an interesting one. I won't put all of that in there right now because, you know, like anything, it can be a very long story. In this case, it wasn't so much a long story. It sort of was, it sort of wasn't. Anyway, how I met them was probably at his 18th birthday party, and we had a wonderful night. Wasn't then, let me try and think, when was it? It could have been. I don't specifically remember the absolute first time where I met my partners, and he was my husband, but soon after as well, when I met his family. So it was somewhere around the town. We lived in a small country town that had those instances where nearly everybody knew everyone else and their business and what they ate for their dinner and etc. prior to anything to do with internet and the rest. You went to the local football or the tennis or the bowls or the golf or whatever. It was fairly sport oriented, like a lot of small country towns. So what we did end up doing was knowing most people, and the Betts family had built the local motel on the waterfront, and they called it the Waterfront Motel. So the parents-in-law did build that in the 1960s, so it was a well-known location. Many people ate there for dinners and special events as well, because there was a restaurant attached and as part of it. It is still standing at the moment, but it is going to be demolished and reconstructed as a different aspect of motel living, life, travelling and all that, and accommodation, that type of thing. So there's part of history going out of the town soon, but how I met them was through that usual affliction of probably seeing them at the football, watching their son playing football, and their daughter too did play netball for a time as well, and through various school events, that type of thing, because we all went to the local area school. And you know, it was community. That's how we met in a small country town. So here we have this question again. Interesting. I'm going to pop that over here in the reflection, later life and reflection. When did you retire? There must be a few backup cards in this deck that is showing those things that are to do with retirement, which, as we know, I haven't retired. I'm not probably not going to retire as such, because I'm having too much fun doing the writing and helping people set up and get your own writing going, moving it forward. So this is part of why I'm doing these sessions, to help you prompt and get together some of what you're wanting to put across to others as your story. How much of it is your full-on construction, how much your full-on truth story chronologically or anything like that. It doesn't matter, because what we're doing is putting forward just the ideas at the moment. You're bringing together what is like a brain dump, like, you know, just a memory dump, or maybe you might even be able to reference some old journals that you've written in years gone past that give you that sense of remembering and then putting it all down. Now, what can be done with these cards afterwards is I hit the wrong button, and that's okay. So with those little cards, that kit is only but one way that we can use to be able to do memory prompts and things like that. Another way is to use, and I don't have them. What I do have, whoops, I've got a whole shelf of scrap paper that's in this wonderful Cutler desk. I've got another little thing that is just sticky notes. these are the things, they come out of a weighted container I got years ago, and I happen to still be able to get the little sticky notes that leaf out of it, that come feeding out of it. You know, you pull it and it comes out in the right way, like a, actually it's almost like a zip line. It's quite nifty. Write those memories as you come across them, and just stick them in a pile somewhere, so that later on you can get either a big whiteboard to lay them out in a flow chart of where you actually want to place your chapters. You can have them labelled as the 1, 2, 3, 4 as just straight numerical chapters, until you get what titles you want for that flow of your story to start to happen. It gives a lot of flexibility in how you can shift things around depending on what type of story you're wanting to tell. And at some point I will have photos out to be able to take you through some of the tips and hints to be able to use various photos as part of your memoir, if you're doing something that does reference to some of those old snaps that may be in your photo albums or your parents' photo albums, because they certainly were something that was very popular through those 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, until Mum got sick of taking photos, probably when life changed to a lot of digital cameras in the 90s, 2000s. And nearly everyone has that type of opportunity just by using the mobile phones now. They've got excellent cameras, don't they? So that's another way that we can actually gather together a lot of the information and that prompting that might be extremely useful when you are putting together your thoughts into memoir or into a story, creating a fiction. One of the things with the Scrivener, and I'm going to go back to sharing the Scrivener, as you can see with what we have here, with all these episodes that I've put in here, we'll only be going, I don't know how long this will get to be. We'll see at some other point. But you can label different folders within this one so that we've got those different sections and sessions and whatever we want, to be able to organise things very nicely actually. And I'll put that back on today's. But here, as we go to the potential, I'm not sure what I actually had in these. They're probably just labels that I thought, maybe I might need them or not. And obviously not today. But it's the ability to use something like this that is, where you can gather some notes into there and put those links that you might need. And we've got one that is for research as well. I've been able to find a new space, and I'll go back to here at the moment, that is free, that you can use, that's called Notion. Now I'm going to probably take you through that with a little bit of organising, so that I'm showing you something practical in how you can actually organise that as well. I don't think I've taken us through that yet in a detailed way. It's certainly not going to be an instructional or anything. It'll be discovering what is possible using it in the way that I may lay it out to do further organising. Scrivener's excellent for the actual word processing and everything, and in the research area that I just showed you, like this one here, you can change the name of that too at any point, some of these labels. So within this one I can actually put what is a Notion link. Now I can't quite remember how I do this within Scrivener, how the link gets put in. I think what I have to do is, there's untitled document, so I can actually put a link to the Notion dot. Let me just go and have a quick look. I'm not sure if this shows up if I share screen. Yes, you do get to see it all. I can't set it up that way yet. Notion.io probably. IO. Anyway, you can create links like that within the Scrivener, and we'll show you through that one next time. I think that might be better when it's better organised. Okay, and we'll have something a little more reasonable to look at in the process as well. Now, one of the other things that I know came up in an interview this morning or this afternoon, it was earlier this afternoon that I had, because I'm had with Ali Sugars. Sorry, I keep half saying things. Just blame the old age. Not old age. It's not old age. Just do I need to blame anything? No, don't really, do I? It's just that sometimes the mind wanders off to the next thing before I finish saying what I was in the middle of. What was I saying? I need to let you know, because in an interview with Ali Sugars, I'm one of the sponsors for the Heart and Soul Virtual Expo. And part of the process is a lovely interview that Ali had me attend this morning. I was happy to attend it, of course. But one of the questions that came up was, what is the first step to engaging with Boomer Press? And I thought, well, I haven't actually laid those steps out. So it could be that may be what process I'll take you through as far as the Boomer Press, the Notion page, and having a link through there. Yet discovering all the potential and possibilities of what Notion does have for us. I do know that you can share pages from Notion to others, and that may be a wonderful way to share info through the course that I've created, the Unlock Your Writing Potential, that's being, well, it's a soft launch at the moment. So, and that one can be, sorry, I had my mouse go all over the place. I'll just give you a link to the course. Now this is there we go. And I am still in process of double checking the full set of steps that this leads to with the course. But what I've shared with you is the link to the first step is booking the free consultation with me to engage with Boomer Press, because every single situation of where you may be at with what you've gathered already with your writing, it's going to be different for everybody. So there's not going to be any sort of a standard set price structure for bits and pieces. The only set prices will be the courses. Everything else will need to actually be individually consulted upon, because you are going to each have different needs and different levels of what you need, because the number of words are what would be involved, whether you want how many photos, pictures, adjustments, covers. Not everybody wants to publish in an actual book for public consumption, but just for their own personal use. There's so many different combinations of the variables that it really must be done by having that free consult first and progressing from there, and we can work out a quotation potentially. You'll get a really good close indication of what it would be, the potential cost, depending on what layers and levels that you need. Okay, so it's like anything. Nothing is free when you're actually producing product. And writing a book is producing a product, so there is definitely a cost element to it. And that's something that I can help you gauge what it may cost you, even if it's not for the Boomer Press services to be the full quota of what you're needing, that it might need to be outsourced elsewhere, but I have the skills and ability to point you in the right direction, to give you that sense of what is needed and, gauge what potential cost it might be for you. It might be that you'll just be happy to write a story that you produce yourself as PDFs to share with your family, or it may be that you want full-on production to list on Amazon or Ingram Spark or Draft Digital or Kobo or Apple Books, or wherever you feel that you want your realm of connection to be with creating your books. All of it is possible. And the marketing side is certainly Michelle's expertise as part of our team. So first up, it really is to book that free consultation with me. And then the next step would be, if you'd like to join in the course, that's one way of just getting a feel for what potentially is involved. And have a look on the website. The link is there as well in the chat on my Boomer Press page and on the 5 Foot Rope TV page, and it will be on my Ros Boundy page when I get to share it across and copy those links in there as well. Many different ways to connect with me, but that is the first step. If at all in doubt, go to the website and hit that contact me form. There is the tab in the website for that specifically. So I do hope you enjoy moving around the site, because it is working now. I managed to fix the error that was happening with 404 errors on web pages are a bit of like, that kiss of death, but it's not really. It's fixed. It was a short little issue that was followed up immediately. So it was great to be moving through that. Okay, and getting it back online for you so you can have a good look. And what the other authors who have listed their books on the site as well. Have a look through those. You might even like to read them. Purchase them. The links are directly in their pictures that are listing as well. It's got a bit to read. If in doubt, contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions, and certainly if you're wanting to write a book or wanting to ask a few more in-depth questions around it, certainly book that consultation. And I'm very happy to connect with you to see whether we'd fit. It's not just a fit, but to see whether what I have to offer to help you get moving forward with the writing is suitable. Are you at the right stage? All of that. So thank you for joining us today. And the next session for this is on Sunday at the 7:30, same places and channels. So we'll see you then. Until then, bye for now.